The Analogue Pocket is by far one of the most wanted handhelds of 2022, but unfortunately, due to demand, Analogue have had to spread out the shipping throughout 2022 and 2023. This leaves many gamers looking at their letterbox for well over a year in hopes that the unicorn of handhelds arrive. So I thought it'd be a good time to shine some light on other products in the handheld world and give you an insight into how the Analogue Pocket compares with a modded Game Boy and these oh so popular handheld emulators. So let's jump in. First of all, if you haven't seen our review of the Analogue Pocket, we suggest you do, as it gives you an idea of how the FPGA technology works and how the handheld performs overall. But because I don't want to lose you a minute into this video, we gave the Analogue Pocket a solid 9 out of 10. It's a phenomenal handheld with superb build quality and flawless gameplay performance. It did have some places where it fell short. For example, the cartridge slot is a little flexible and the volume buttons are very hard to press in the dark. But apart from that, it's great. The Analogue Pocket targets handheld enthusiasts who have a large budget, because at $219 it better be a great handheld, otherwise it would have flopped. But for those of you that are waiting for your order to come or want something a little bit different, I'm going to compare it to a modded Game Boy and a handheld emulator in hopes you find what handheld you truly want. First up is the modded Game Boy. Modded Game Boys have exploded in popularity over the coming years, not only because they enhance the gameplay quality, but because they are also highly customizable, allowing you to make your dream Game Boy become a reality for far less than the price of an Analogue Pocket. Nintendo sold over 100 million Game Boys, meaning a lot of people have them lying around in their basement, in their attic, and admittedly they may be in poor quality or even broken, but that's the magic of modding. You can turn a $20 broken Game Boy into a brand new handheld that plays your old cartridges on a crispy new screen, just like the Analogue Pocket. So for example, this Game Boy Color here, made by Retro Gear Customs, would cost you around about $150 to mod yourself, or $230 if you wanted him to do it for you. These prices include a new Game Boy, and this mod adds a brand new IPS display, light up LEDs, a custom shell, new membranes, capacitors, and buttons. You can do all of this while keeping the nostalgic feeling of an original Game Boy, and it's playing your cartridges on original hardware too, so you know there will never be problems with emulation quality, so to speak. This is good for those of you that want something nostalgic, that pays respects to the past, and it also gives you the ability to learn more about the modding scene if you want to do it yourself. And in all honesty, it's not that hard to do yourself at all. You can upgrade the Game Boy further should you have the budget. For example, I've seen wireless charging mods, I've seen glass screens, and even USB-C charging too. The possibilities are endless with these things. The only downfall with a modded Game Boy compared to the Analogue Pocket is that you are limited to Game Boy games only, whereas the Analogue Pocket allows you to purchase adapters in order to play other consoles like the Neo Geo Pocket and Game Gear. But do take into consideration that this will increase the price, and if you wanted to get a Game Boy modded tomorrow, you literally could, whereas you'll have to wait until 2023 to get the Analogue Pocket or pay a premium on eBay. Now moving on to handheld emulators. As you know, I cover a lot of these on our channel and across our website, and there's more and more being released every month, so it's hard to find what fits for you. But there is a reason why these are growing in popularity, and it comes down to affordability and the ability to run ROMs, which are basically game files. In this video, I am going to use the RG351V as an example. It was one of the best retro handhelds of 2021 and has the ability to play most retro consoles up to and including PlayStation 1 for just $110. The RG351V is made by a company called Anbernig, who are well known for creating very good handhelds. This handheld here features a 3.5-inch IPS display with a resolution of 640 by 480, a quad-core processor, 1GB of RAM, and 3900 milliamps of battery. It's a little powerhouse and even comes with an analog stick for playing your PlayStation games alongside 4 shoulder buttons. Many retro gamers love to play their old ROMs on new hardware and even explore the many ROM hacks that the community has to offer. And the RG351V already comes with the emulators built in, and at times even comes preloaded with games, which is a little bit naughty. There's nothing illegal about downloading ROMs, but sharing them on the internet is where Nintendo starts to get involved. You can rip ROMs from your actual discs and cartridges should you want to go down the correct route, but nobody has been sued downloading a cheeky Pokemon ROM, even if it's against our recommendation to do so. The crispy display, quad-core processor and comfortable ergonomics makes this handheld an absolute pleasure to play on. It allows you to bring hundreds of different games across many different consoles with you when you go traveling or when you want to bring a games console with you, instead of having to pay extortionate prices for cartridges and retro games nowadays. And that's the biggest reason why I think handheld emulators are exploding in popularity, because those who want to play their favorite retro games can't afford to go out, buy the hardware, buy the games, and buy the cables. Retro games have increased in price far beyond what the average gamer can afford, so moving to handheld emulators gives gamers the chance to play the games they once loved on new, well-built hardware. If you're not a fan of the way the RG351V looks, don't worry, there's so many different handhelds to choose from. For example, this Retroid Pocket 2 Plus can play Dreamcast games very well. This Funkey S is the world's smallest foldable handheld, and this RG351MP is made of metal. The choices are endless. And why you choose one of these over an Analogue Pocket is simple. It gives you more choice for half of the price. Yes, you will need to learn about emulators and how to add your own ROMs, but it's fairly easy. And once you start to tinker, you'll find an endless niche of handheld enthusiasts who love to push these things to the limit. The handheld emulator niche is still in its early stages, but China are really investing in it, and throughout 2022 there's going to be bigger screens, PS2 emulation, Android operating systems, and even portable PCs that target us retro gamers. It's an exciting time, and I personally think if you don't want to wait for an Analogue Pocket or can't afford it with all of the add-ons, docks and cables, then seriously consider looking at a handheld emulator or a modded Gameboy. You will not be disappointed. Please leave your questions below, as I'll be sieving through the comments over the coming weeks just to help out with the discussion and your decision making. As per usual, thanks for watching this video, and if you want even more retro gaming content in your YouTube feed, hit the subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.